What's your number? What's your number, girl? What's your number? What's your number? What's your number, girl? What's your number?
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I was like a half second early this time.
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen. I waited a bit, but I waited too long.
I was trying to get it as you were saying 3. Also, when you look at my recording, the beginning's a little shorter than yours because I hit record, but it didn't register, and I just was mashing it. I'm like, please start.
Yeah, don't worry. I still have the clap to sync it up, so that should be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Just got scared.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. This is going to be coming out as the third episode. Well, not the third. The third long episode.
The third long episode.
Yeah. Yeah. This should be coming out of the third week since we started, basically. And now because up to this point, I think up to the last episode, we'd been recording without having posted anything, so it was all just sitting in my computer. But now we actually posted stuff. So hey,
now we're cool.
I would argue with that, but
now we have 7 upvotes.
God. You and your 7 upvotes. That's the shitty Reddit
It's such a shit. Okay, I know since it's a long episode, we're just gonna go on tangents at this point. So I'm already gonna go on one.
Yeah.
The 7 upvote thing is really sad because everyone on Reddit who does that shit, and I am also one who does that shit every now and again.
Sure.
But whatever, is basically trying to do that just so they get extra upvotes because they're like, oh, this is going to die anew. This will only get 7 upvotes. Pity, pity, pity.
Hey now.
Fuck you.
You complain about it, but you made a literal anime meme
that said something about 7 upvotes. Yeah, it was funny though.
Was it? I called that into question.
It got 60 upvotes on the first hour.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, right. Oh, Reddit sucks.
I agree.
Oh man.
But yeah, let's actually just clean up first. So welcome to the podcast. You can find all of the music in the description. There's a little link, and you can just paste that into any browser, and it'll give you a nice little neat, list of songs. And actually, they are in order, so they're in the order that you're hearing them, basically. Which was a dumb idea, but I just do that.
I like the music we have for it because I listened to one of our episodes and I was like, damn, I wish I could hear that while I was actually talking.
I actually am listening to music right now. Actually, I might send this to you because basically what I did is that I got tired of, because basically what I was doing is that I'd grab every single song and I'd drag them in individually into the Audacity, which is where we're recording right now.
Oh, you are.
I am. We don't talk about how you're recording. But yeah, so I got tired of doing that, so I just decided, you know what? I'm going to grab all the songs and put them into one track, and then I'm going to save that track. Because I'm using them in the same order. I should look for more songs because there's I barely brushed to the surface, but I got really lazy because finding all of that information and pasting it and downloading the song, and it's a pain.
Yeah, but we don't need to talk about how much of a pain it is. We need to talk about how bad some video games are, because that's our hobby.
Shtick. I like the word.
Yeah, shtick. I like shtick. Shtick works. What's our first topic?
Okay, well, we're back with the generating random numbers, so here we go. We got 3 for our first number. I know saying the number that we got is kind of pointless because literally I'm the only one that can see the list, but yeah, our first topic is going to be DLCs.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
The added content that companies make to expand on their game. Conceptually, it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Depending on what's going on, at least with the idea of the DLC, it kind of depends on how good it can be, because there's a lot of
sure,
I don't know, there's a lot of games out there with a DLC that's just not great, or they're just well, why would you do that?
Yeah, I think if I can interrupt, the perfect example that I've seen of just a bad DLC is, or basically they're microtransactions. They're, like, for example, I know Destiny did this, Destiny 2. Somebody managed to, because from day one, the DLC was already in the game. So somebody managed to glitch their way inside of the DLC area. And they're like, hey, fucker, you're just making us pay for an area. Like, it's not an expansion. It's not that you took time, effort, and money to produce extra content for your players. You're just trying to pad out the longevity of a game by artificially making this DLC and getting more money for it. You're literally gating people, and it's just the worst.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. That's the kind of shit where I'd just be like, okay, yeah, I don't want to play your game anymore.
Yeah,
money
definitely.
grabbing.
It's
money
scummy.
grabbing.
It's a scummy
motherfucker.
Also, like, I remember there was another game that they made you basically, just, there was a follower that would make the game significantly easier, but you could basically only get them if you paid money, like a literal microtransaction.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Actually, oh god, wait a second. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Oh, jeez. Wasn't me this time.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't you this time.
It will
sorry
be
about
in
that.
30 minutes.
What, when you have to go to the bathroom for the 50th time today?
50th? More like 70th.
I believe you. That's not good. But yeah, I think DLCs can be really awesome. Mainly throwing back to like Dark Souls DLCs, but a lot of the time they're just flops or very underwhelming. I was gonna
throw it to the good old Spider-Man DLCs.
Okay,
I know you didn't play the Spider-Man game, but okay, the newest Spider-Man game was actually good in my opinion. As I call every game terrible. I liked that game. I thought it was great because back in the day on the PS2, there were very few games that gave you like this good feel of movement, and then they came out with this Spider-Man game that was kind of iffy, kind of what you wanted, but like at the same time not really. Then they came out with Spider-Man 2, and oh boy was that shit fantastic. That, like, you swung from buildings and it actually connected to buildings. You could run up walls. You could fucking flip and do tricks and shit.
Yeah, just
there were more tricks in that game than there were in the new one. Like, there were literally more things that you could do in that game than in the new one, at least at the time. The new one now has a lot more shit. The DLC in that kind of added to it. So, like, at the end of the story, it kind of made you want more. And everybody was actually like begging for a new game plus on that game, which was weird because it's a Spider-Man. It's a story-only game, Spider-Man game. They wanted a new game plus just so they could have more fun.
Yeah, it's one of those games that like just is inherently entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is what every game should strive to be.
And then they decided, actually they decided beforehand anyway, but they had announced that they're putting out 3 DLCs 3 months apart. And I got the not the collectors. I got the good ass edition that gives you all the DLC right away, like as soon as they're coming out. And I have yet to play the last one, but the first 2 were phenomenal. Like, it's just like a really really good addition to the story. I don't know.
I feel like that's really interesting too because games are inherently very different. So, for example, in Call of Duty, adding a DLC is going to be basically a microtransaction. You're going to be paying for like weapons. But in a story game, I think in a story game is where it has like the best like in general spot to be in because like you actually can add and it will be adding, not just making small additions. It's legitimately changing the story and adding to it. And I think that's one of the best ways to make a DLC. Just actually for a story.
Yeah, just add on to what you got there and make it good.
Yeah.
Don't be...
Improve.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Improve. That's, like you said, with Call of Duty. I hate that because back in the day, it's like, oh, you get map packs. Yay. New zombie map. Yay.
Something that you feel like should be in by default.
Yeah. But then you get Final Fantasy 15 did DLCs separately for each character, and each one has like their own fucking 10-hour long story each.
Nice.
That game is already a fucking 70+ hour game. You're getting an extra 30 to 40 hours out of $20.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's what good DLC is, a lot of people didn't really like 15 for what it was because it's like their first attempt at what Kingdom Hearts does, but in a cooler way. And I guess there was some shit about it that I didn't like either. The story in it was lacking compared to any other Final Fantasy game, but it was really pretty and they had really good DLC, so fuck off. That's really all I got on that game, dude.
Yeah, it's
DLC,
now
was,
the bad game, bad language, and also bashing everyone that's listening podcast.
Oh yes, absolutely. All listeners
because
are dicks.
we hold the only truth. We are always right. Truth. We are gods and incredibly attractive.
I feel like that was 17 lies and one truth.
We don't talk about that.
The truth being that we're extremely attractive.
Of course.
Oh wait, no, that's not true.
I think we're just super opinionated and slightly douchey. But not douchey enough to make us hateable, but we're getting there, sort of deal.
No, we're completely hateable.
I think we're pretty hateable, but there's a threshold. Okay. We're not too douchey. We're just a mid-tier douchey.
Yeah, I don't wear a fucking flat brim backwards on my head while drinking a Mike's Hard Lemonade, you're right.
Okay, so wait, what would you say is worse? On a completely different non-game related topic, would you say some frat boy dude jock, or somebody wearing a fedora that is very
somebody
overweight?
Somebody wearing a fedora that is very overweight with a neckbeard who watches lolly porn. Yeah, one of them. Yeah. They suck.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you, because at least with the jock, they might be a bit douchey, but you can still have a good time.
But the douchey jock guy can also reason with you when you go, yeah, you're a douchebag because of this, and they'll be like, oh, bro, it's a good time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna generate a new number because I don't want to stick to this topic.
I'm trying to get to a new topic here, and you're just not doing it. You're not helping me out.
You can also prompt me.
Help you.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this one because we already totally talked about it, but it's just microtransactions.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the DLCs.
Yeah, we covered that.
We can hit up more microtransactions, actually.
We can hate on EA.
Okay, so we've already hated on EA a little bit. Can I just say, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is about me, but I really, really love Apex Legends and all their skins, so I will buy their microtransactions, even if it is EA. That's the only thing that they've ever done right. Thank you, EA. Giving me that thick fucking Pathfinder.
Oh, fuck. Don't even remind me of that. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast, but I have tried so fucking hard to get that skin. Not the just the normal, I don't even know what to call it, the thick robot skin.
Thick Pathfinder.
But, thick Pathfinder. But I was trying to get the Twitch Prime one. But for some reason, it doesn't do it because I can't link my PS4. Well, it is linked to my Twitch. But for some reason, it won't give me the rewards. And I tried for literally 2 hours and was very sad because I could not get thick robot.
I played so many games with Adrian still in the party, but he muted himself. And he came back every now and again to go, I am so fucking pissed off right now. This is the dumbest shit. I am so fucking mad.
Angry.
Blah 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 blah. I am so mad. I just want thick Pathfinder. It's it's just thick Pathfinder.
I know. Also,
but I do understand. I also want thick Pathfinder. Not for the same reasons. I just like thick Pathfinder.
It's funny, man. That
is funny.
Of all characters, I think that was probably to have that skin. Yes.
The thickest.
Yeah, that's
Pathfinder.
Good. They could have given that sort of skin to some random like to like Bangalore or to like some other like fixed
Bangalore
character.
could use like a thick skin though. That'd be great. I hate to say
but
that,
it's so
like,
much funnier to have a literal robot have huge thighs.
Thick robot.
Yes.
Ooh.
What?
I'm sorry. I know. I've been playing GTA semi-quietly, but what I just did was what you could consider a Grand Theft Auto. Oh, never mind. It's not a Grand Theft Auto stunt anymore. I just blew my car up and I died. GTA is a good game.
Yeah. You're a disappointment to me.
You're a disappointment to your family.
Oh, God. Why do you always insist on doing just the worst accents possible? We're going to get a guest in here one day who's going to call you out on that bullshit. And I'm just going to be listening and being kind of just...
No, they probably won't.
They should, though.
I know. Everybody should, but they just don't.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from your racist accent.
Every episode you call me racist, and every episode you still have not proven how I'm actually racist.
You did an Asian accent. You
Oh my god,
douchebag.
I did an Asian accent. It's so offensive. It's not like
We're gonna get kicked
they
off of
actually
iTunes.
Sorry, Apple. Your phones
God
suck,
damn
by
it.
the way.
God. I'm gonna get a new topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We have sports games and fantasy sports. Well, let's start with sports games in general.
Yes.
So, and here we're talking about the NBA games, FIFA. What other ones are there?
MLB,
Boxing?
NFL.
Yeah. Would wrestling
Boxing
games
doesn't really count.
count?
Wrestling doesn't really count.
Why?
They're the same idea, but dude. Okay, I'll explain the difference before we go into the topic. A boxing game is actually sort of fun, and the UFC games are actually sort of fun. I get they don't need to make new ones every year, but I don't think they really do. They're like so inconsistent with them, or like they're not really heard of. But every time I pick up a UFC game, it's kind of fun for like 20 minutes.
So basically, you're differentiating them because you enjoy one of them more than the other.
Well, I'm differentiating it because of the wrestling games, because of the create a character in the wrestling games. That alone makes it the best game I've ever played, because you can make almost whatever you want. You can make a worse character than my potato character. It's so good. It's so good.
Nobody's gonna know what you're referring to by your potato character.
No, not the potato. The wrestling thing, they'll know what I mean, though. Like, the wrestling in any of those games, like, when you fucking make a character, holy fuck, do they give you options.
I kind of wish that I had the potato face, the one that you made for Dark Souls, in like a high quality definition.
We can get a high
image.
Quality picture of it and just like post it in a description somewhere.
I think I might just make it like the episode.
Like, yeah, just like the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it's called the thumbnail, but yeah, that.
Well, I assume
actually don't know.
It
Let me check, because I'm gonna check right now actually, because I can just go over here and see, because I know it's not called the thumbnail, and it's gonna bug me forever if I don't figure out what it's called.
Yeah, because I have a thumbnail right now. It's on my thumb. Like they just fake laugh at that shit.
It's pretty bad.
It was such a shitty joke.
Thumbnail. It doesn't say. It just says choose a new image, or just podcast.
That's a
picture.
thumbnail.
Yeah, I guess so. That's also a weird term, right? Like, not just me, like, thumbnail.
No, it's not a fucking...
Okay,
it's not
we're
just you.
used to
it's
it,
not
but, like...
just you, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes, I was saying it wrong the first time. Because I'm drunk.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Post Malone's getting to me, that party animal.
Oh, God. I don't know if I want to cut this out or not, but I sort of want to.
Whatever.
I'm not going to. Anyway, moving on. What were we saying? We were talking about the word thumbnail.
Well, we were talking about thumbnails, but we were saying you were basically saying something about them not getting my potato face. I was talking about how the WWE games are definitely like the best thing because of the creative character, and I don't put them in the class of like shitty sports games over and over because every single time they add something that really makes my heart smile whenever I create a character.
Yeah. Also, we just went completely off track.
That was you. We're still going to sports
me.
Games is the thing. So the thing that I really hate about sports games, including every fucking basketball, baseball, soccer, fucking football game, is
cricket.
Why is it the same fucking game, dude? Like, absolutely the same game.
It is the literal same game. Like, soccer always has the same rules. They're not going to suddenly add rifles.
They should.
That would make it more entertaining. Or
I think, honestly, if truck nuts. Actually, yes.
I think that just be considered testing.
No, now that you're saying it, though, I have the best idea.
What?
So, the next FIFA game to come out not only needs truck nuts, but needs rifles. So, it's not just a soccer game, it's a first-person shooter with truck nuts.
Huh.
I mean,
the thing is, okay, I agree. The problem is that truck nuts on a human being are called testicles.
Who says that they're human beings, though?
Oh,
they
God.
Don't have to be.
We're just gonna make Anthem.
No, we're gonna remake Anthem, use all the Anthem characters, give them truck nuts, and put them into FIFA with guns.
Yeah.
That aren't gay.
Yeah.
I really fucking hate Anthem. That game is a fail.
Yes, total flop on arrival.
Yes.
Fuck
that truck nuts video, though. If you can, you should link that video. Give that guy some huge support, because that is the best video.
I mean, I think it should be fine. It's not like I'm stealing any of his content. So,
no,
I'm
not saying because of that. I love it. It's so funny.
It's a pretty good video, yeah.
It's so good. If nobody's checked out the Truck Nuts video, just type in Anthem Truck Nuts. You'll find it. It's by, like, what, Polygon?
Polygon, yeah. They actually have some entertaining people.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to take this quick second of you talking more about Truck Nuts to go to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Talk about Truck Nuts. Truck nuts?
Truck nuts indeed.
Yes, I do agree to truck nuts. I am here.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for truck nuts.
Yep.
Alright, I actually gotta turn up a little bit here. There we go.
What are you doing?
When I say turn up, I mean get litty. No, I meant turn up the volume on my phone so I could hear a little bit better.
God fucking damn it. Yeah. We were talking. Should we keep with the sports topic?
Yeah, actually, no. Okay, so the thing is I remember back in the day, when I was younger, and this is something you probably won't remember because you don't play sports games, and I did a little with friends, but I always hated them. I thought they were just like really. Yeah. The controls are really poor in them. They don't feel like you're like. I don't know. I hate saying it doesn't make you feel like you're, but you know, there's games that feel really fucking good, and sports games feel really fucking bad, which it upsets me because I would think, you know, hey, I get to play super professional ultra sports star, maybe fucking play like the Globetrotters, maybe this will feel good. No, it's slow as shit, clunky as fuck, no matter which game you play. 2019 NBA game, bet you it's clunky as fuck. Not even gonna buy it because it's a waste of $60. How can they release them for $60 either? Like, how are they not $20 a piece every year? Because it's the same garbage. Yeah, it's not like it costs them that much money to make it. It's not like it's fucking that good. And how can they put out microtransactions in a game that's that fucking shitty?
They make you pay for dumb stuff like new characters and
loot boxes in a fucking sports game.
Hey, microtransactions again.
Yeah. Well,
hey, speaking of microtransactions and specifically loot boxes, let's move on. In the same topic, really, but the fantasy sports and how that's like basically literal gambling.
It is literal gambling, actually.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell me about your fantasy sports experience? How much do you know about it?
I know that it exists. I watched I think it was I don't remember. I think it was John Oliver who did an entire thing just on fantasy sports because they're a literal legal loophole of just gambling.
Exactly.
Because they qualify it as a game, even though I don't see how that's a game.
I mean, blackjack is a game.
Yeah.
But I can't gamble when I play that, so fuck you.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I've heard some very messed up stuff because it's an app. You can use that on your phone.
Oh yeah.
So it's basically having a casino at the touch of your fingertips, which is a bad idea.
Very much so. A lot of people go broke just because they're doing fantasy sports.
Yep.
Because they're too sucked into well, I think a lot of with the fantasy thing is, and it's got to be the same for people who love soccer. People in the U.S. who love football think they know who the best players are, the best teams, the best people, whoever. And with a fantasy football league, you put in whoever you want. It could be from any team basically, as long as you get the first pick of it. So if you pick the person, nobody else can pick them, blah blah blah, stuff like that. If you think you know the best and you're out there picking whatever fucking player you want, and all your players do really shitty in that week of playing, you just lost a dickload of money to whoever picked, obviously Tom Brady, because, cheat to win.
Yeah. That entire thing is just such a shitty industry.
It is. It's just, it makes people gamble away a lot of their savings for no reason over a really useless waste of time, because the NFL has been falling apart forever. A lot of other sports are still okay. I like what the soccer. I like what a lot of the people in the administration of soccer are doing is if you fake an injury, if somebody just taps you and you just fall over like a little bitch, they're going to penalize you for falling over like that.
Yeah, and soccer, that whole just getting lightly tapped and collapsing into a heap of
and screaming and crying.
Oh yeah, that is a staple. It is the soccer. The moment that I think of soccer in general, that's one of the first things that I think of, because it's so common. A game without that happening at least once is a legitimate surprise to me.
Oh yeah, a game where somebody scores a goal is a surprise to me. I'm just kidding, man. I don't know. I don't know shit about soccer. I don't watch that garbage.
I don't either. But people.
I like that I'm calling it soccer. If anybody listens from anywhere else, football, not American football.
Yeah, literally the rest of the world.
I'm American, so a football to me is the dumb one. The wannabe rugby.
Wannabe rugby, yeah.
That's what I remember, like to call it half the time, wannabe rugby.
I remember in Italy, there's this sport, and it's not a sport really.
Italy
but there's
sports?
No. But they do have this yearly event, I think, where basically it's like soccer, but and to the extent of there is a ball, I think, and you just have to. I'm not 100% sure on it, but you just have to basically score, basically any other sport of that sort. But
score a football, soccer goal.
Yeah, you can grab it with your hand. There's basically no rules. It's a fucking mosh pit. People have been hospitalized because of that regularly, because you can punch somebody in the face to grab the ball from them, and that is allowed.
This sounds like a really fucking cool sport to watch and a really bad sport to play.
Yeah. But yeah, you're just this is fucking stupid. I'm gonna see if I can find it, not right now, but it is legitimately kind of funny.
Yes, I really want to like see videos of this game and like I bet there's like top 10 knockouts in Hushima What's It Italy Ball.
I think it might be literally like a regional thing though. I think it might be like one of those like, oh, in this city this is what we do for fun.
In this city, this is sort of rugby, except more violent.
Except a lot more violent, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. And apparently I think from what I remember, like there's no like actual sports, it's literally whoever wants to. There's like no like teams or like set anything. There's no like amount of players. Like, it's just
I just want the
chaos.
fucking ball. Give it to me. I don't give a shit if you're on my team.
Yeah, I have to figure out what that's called. But yeah, maybe I'll like put it in description or something if I remember to do that.
If it's Italy, they probably call it meatball.
Fucking Christ. Meatball isn't even an Italian word.
I know. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti.
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 Nobody touching my spaghetti.
Ah, shit. I was waiting for that meme. That's fucking terrible.
It's old.
Very. Yeah. We're changing topics because fuck that meme.
Okay. I see how it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
I just got a number that I
it's fine. It's fine. What's the number? What's your number, girl? What's your number?
Oh God. That's an out of context quote that I'm gonna use against you at some point in time. I'm just gonna like for one episode just have that be the intro.
Just like that just starts
like
the
you know it'll be the full like you get the little music starting, but instead of us like saying anything, it's just that.
It's just me going, what's
no explanation.
Hey, what's your number, girl? What's your number?
God, that's fucking retarded.
Please cut that and just save that audio clip and send it
I
to
will
me.
save that audio clip.
I want that. I need that for memes.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
That's pretty bad. But yeah, I got. We'll see. But yeah, I got the number going and all that, and we got RPG games and just genres of video games. Games. So yeah, you brought this one up.
I love RPG games, brother, man.
I think we've established that with our continued mention of Dark Souls and just other really nerdy games that are a thing.
Dark Souls is a really good option for an RPG game, in my opinion, because it gives you that good sense of it and it's your own kind of deal.
Yeah, sure.
But I definitely prefer the RPG games where, like, my character, for one, talks, and two, actually has a role to play aside from be the guy to kill the stuff.
Yeah, because Dark Souls is very much
be the guy to kill the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very loosey-goosey with story.
It's that, like, the poet's way to do it. Let's put it up to the viewer's interpretation.
I mean, I've never liked art. Like, okay, of course, art is meant to have a meaning and it can be interpreted in different ways. But, like,
that stuff really makes me mad, though. I hate when people say you can interpret it in your own way, because it's, like, obviously them making something going, I don't have much to say about it.
I prefer, like, okay, I can understand why, I can understand, like, the logic behind it, I can appreciate it to an extent. I genuinely prefer somebody that goes, I made this because I wanted to and because it looked cool. Or, I wrote this poem because I enjoyed writing this.
Bruh, when they talk about, like, music from, like, the fucking gazillion years ago that I can't give you a fucking actual date because I'm too stupid to tell you.
Sure.
And they're like, you know, they're trying to say, well, I interpreted it this way, and I wanted, like, Mozart to be like, I made this song because dig scat.
We went in different directions, but sort of the same.
Mine is more realistic because Mozart and scat, if you look that up, that's a thing.
Oh.
He like, a lot of his letters, and I know, yeah, I'm going off topic, but, like, a lot of his letters were definitely totally about him, like, enjoying poop.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding.
I don't doubt it.
It's really weird. It's also really funny.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of that somewhere, but it just
But fuck. I actually just fell off what I was saying.
Is the alcohol getting to you?
This is the podcast where we just say the whole time.
Yeah, hell yeah. I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should probably stop doing that.
I am stopping. I'm actually just trying to like
Once you start, you cannot stop.
It's a good job. This is a good ass joke.
I mean, no.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think it was. What are you doing?
What the fuck was our topic?
We were talking about RPGs, and this has been one of the best and worst because I feel like we've been having like fun conversations and stuff, but we are not following topics. We are saying
I don't care about
topics exist. We're not really using them.
Topics exist. We're just here to talk about things and have.
We're just here to talk about Mozart and.
How did Mozart and poop come up? I don't know how.
That's your fault. That is your fault because we were talking about artistic interpretation, and then you brought up Mozart and Scott.
Honestly,
God,
just look it up. It's a thing.
I know it's a thing. I'm not gonna look it up.
No, I mean whoever's viewing it, look it up. It's a thing. If you're in school ever for like music and somebody's like Mozart's a genius, look at your teacher and go, Mozart liked poop.
You'll probably get kicked out of your class, but you know.
Yeah, but at least you're right.
But at least you can post that on Reddit and get some karma.
True. Very true. You'll probably get quite a bit, honestly.
Oh, God.
It's definitely a fucking weird thing. I don't know. There's so many, like, weird fucking things that, like, happened way back in the day, and now, like, we're so trivialized by, like, is it okay or is it not okay? But back in the day, they were just like, fuck it, I like it, let's do it.
Ew, yeah.
Well, that's, like, definitely a thing, though. Like, I don't know, a lot of shit from back in the day is either better or worse depending on opinion, but definitely worse depending on actual quality, because, like, holy fuck, were they stupid.
I mean...
A very revered man just had over 60 letters that he wrote about poop.
Yeah. That's something like, you know how, like, there's a bunch of, like, historical documents that were lost, and they were like, Hitler burnt books, and, it just, all of this, like, very important historical stuff just disappeared. But for some reason, we have Mozart shat letters.
Yeah,
Why, of all of history, was that what we conserved?
Because it was cool, right?
Sure it was.
It's just totally, man. It was like the coolest
shit.
I was trying to avoid saying that. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna make the joke.
It's a bad joke. And we both thought of it.
It's the coolest shit, man.
Coolest shit.
Oh god, I can't believe that it's a thing. I fucking heard about that and I was like, wait, really? And then I fucking Googled it. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like the internet's not just like making a fake Wikipedia thing right now.
I mean, that has happened.
There's letters.
But yeah.
There's weird shit, man.
I think there is.
Fuck.
Also, I rolled my metaphorical dice and now we have a new topic. And this one's gonna be a weird one, and I don't even know if I told you about this one, but I wrote it down. But basically, I want to talk about like the type of people that play games and what their objective is when playing a game. So like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, there's like the jocks and then there's like the real gamers or anything like that. I want to look at it more like from the perspective of like, well, what do people look for in games? Because like, I think for us, in large part, we're looking for like one, entertainment. Two, we're looking for something just to like spend time on, I guess. And I think maybe to a small extent, a bit of escapism.
I don't think you need to lie to our viewers. We're looking for people to shit stomp in a game where we can do PvP.
and also making
That's
people
all I
salty.
want.
That is yes, a thing. But like that is like something that I am genuinely interested in, because there's like a significant like there's people that the casuals that like they just pick up a game and they try to have fun with it and enjoy it and play with their friends, and just that is it. That is all that they need from the experience. Then there's people that like want to challenge themselves and basically see it as a dare.
Starva.
Yeah, or any completionist. I've never understood. Like, I know you do this more than me, by quite a bit.
I do the 100%ing on games that I know are easy enough, or games that I like enough. Dark Souls is one of those games that I do like enough, but boy oh boy, do you think I'm gonna go through all the new game pluses for those rings? You can eat my fucking booty hole.
Ew.
That is not happening. I am not doing that.
Yeah, very much like that's like one of those things that I struggle to understand, because like for me, like I said, games are primarily entertainment. They can be a cool experience and a good way of like spending time with a friend, for example. That's like my 3 like baselines. So I've never been able to understand like single player games. I can understand them if they're telling a story, if they're having like a point to them, but at the same time I find them to be less enjoyable than a multiplayer game, because
you don't get that time with your buddy.
Yeah, and you can't do dumb shit with a friend. Like, that's inherently very entertaining for me.
So, well, my thing on that is, though, like with a single player game, dependent on what it is. So, obviously, I get the nostalgia, but there are still single player games that come out that I'll play through on my own, and I'll enjoy them. And I think something about it is like, I have this inherent enjoyment for a lot of stories and a lot of things, depending on how they're going to play. I know at this point just about every story you do is going to be the same or similar to another story.
It'll have
you got to deal with that fact nowadays, because it's hard to make original content when it comes down to games, when it comes down to stories, because I mean a lot of stories have already been told. It's just dependent on how you tell them is kind of the thing.
Humanity has existed for so long that at this point we're not really making super original stuff.
I mean, exactly. Anthem. It feels like every other game that looks kind of like Anthem, but Anthem you just can't really remember because it's the same as all the other games. But like when it comes down to a single player story, there's people who enjoy it, solely because the story just it feels good to play. It's satisfying. There's this weird feeling of like I did something. And I get that myself when I get like 100% in a game. When I got the platinum on Bloodborne, I played that game for like 400 fucking hours, dude. And that a lot of it wasn't even working to a trophy. A lot of it was just like me leveling my guy. And then I realized all I have to do is beat the game one more time and get this ending, like this specific ending. Yeah. And then I have a platinum. And I was like, oh, well, let me do that. And the platinum trophy popping up is the feeling of, oh, I've done it. I've beaten this game. I've actually beaten the game. Not, I beat the story, whatever. It's the I've actually done everything I can in this game.
Completed the game fully.
And I like that. I don't know. It could be an OCD thing. It could just be like a satisfaction.
I can understand that being satisfying.
Like
yeah. I just personally, I can't really relate. I've never found that particularly entertaining. But I do think it's very interesting that that is very much a mentality that a lot of people have, because there are quite a few completionists out there.
Oh yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, there's that one weirdo that just wants to get all of it. No, that's like a pretty regular thing.
I have a few friends that are into that. One of my buddies, his name is Knight Edric. He has well over 200 or 300 platinum trophies.
Shit. I don't think I have more than 3.
Yeah. I've got maybe at most 13, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like, it's just, I don't know, mentally, I don't have that incentive. I can very much understand why, and I think at this point we're lingering a bit on the topic. But, it's such a
well, I mean, we can keep this one going, though, because, after what you're saying, I still, there's still a little bit more we could talk about on this thing. Trust me.
Yeah, very much. I'm also sort of running a bit dry on because we mentioned there's people that play it more casually. There's the people that want to be completionists. There's people that like challenges, and I feel like there's still more.
Oh yeah. So okay,
I mean,
so like the main thing
okay.
that I see with platinums that I get close to that I don't get, there's a lot of games that if you ever go through my trophy list, you'll be like, well, why don't you have the platinum on this game or that game? And I'll have
Sure.
like 83%, 98%, something stupid like that.
Yeah, like you
And
tried
there's
to
certain
platinum it
games where
basically.
like a trophy is either really unreasonable or like I have worked way too long on one game that I've spent just too much time on where it's like this doesn't even feel worth it
Kingdom
anymore.
Hearts. Hmm.
Yeah, I still don't have the Kingdom Hearts 3 Platinum since the fucking first episode we ever recorded, which is the second episode that goes up.
Wait,
And
what?
I think, right? What's the
No?
hour long one? The first one or the second?
Hour long. Well, both of those would be out by now, but
Well,
it should be
basically, the one
the
where I
hour long
bitch
one is the
about
first
Kingdom
one.
Hearts 3, I still have
Yeah, that's
yet
the
to get
first
the
one.
Platinum. I haven't even attempted it since. And, I mean, I
Yeah.
still think the game is great, actually. It definitely is pretty good. Other than all the dumb bullshit that they threw into it where there's no Final
Except
Fantasy
all that stuff that I
characters
hate.
and all the fucking cooking shit and all the crappy things that they wanted to try that were new. Yeah,
Sure.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's still a good story, though.
Yeah. I feel like that's also another big part of the game. Like, if it's telling a story, I think that's pretty awesome.
And
Because,
Kingdom
like,
Hearts has been telling a story for fucking 20 fucking years, apparently.
Yeah.
Not
It's just
actually, but you know.
such a like a conceptually telling a story, because traditionally the story first word of mouth, then written. Now the idea of an interactive medium, I think that's just like totally the future for like telling stories,
Yeah,
because there's so much like liberty and there's so much individuality that can be put into each and every one of these stories because it's an interactive medium. You can't do that with writing. You can't do, well, you can, but
you could try.
you can try, but it's not like a very successful idea compared to a video game. So I think that like inherently video games are great tools for just telling a story.
Yeah. No, the storytelling aspects of a video game are so unbelievable, and a lot of people back, I mean, even 5 years ago, were still putting games down because they'd be like, "Oh well, why would you even
Sure.
play a game? You're just dicking around to have fun." It's like, no, I'm like doing the same thing that the douchebag over there that's reading a book is doing.
Yeah.
I'm fucking going through a
Having
story,
an experience.
I'm learning something that is a one-time, one situational thing that is only from this one item that I own.
Yeah.
Like fuck
I also
with me.
feel like
I'm
a lot of
sorry,
people-
but like that's the thing. Like I used to read a whole lot, and
Sure. Same.
exactly, and like I kind of just switched over to video games for a lot of single-player games because like the stories in them were really satisfying to me at
Yeah,
least.
definitely.
I just really liked seeing what was going to go on, and I liked being the character that was there.
Yeah.
As to why I played a lot of like Final Fantasy X. It's an older PS2 game, but the story in it is actually like it's really good for what it is. And I've played that game through probably like 3 or 4 times. That's a 70+ hour game, and
yeah.
every single time I
long.
love the story.
Sure.
It's
I
like
feel like
reading your
also-
favorite book over and over, you know?
Yeah, I feel like also something that really games get like a lot of slack for, unfortunately. Like they don't get seen as an actual artistic medium. Unless they're super indie and artsy, people don't tend to like generally accept them as a work of art, which I think is inherently wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that to the sense of, I thought you were going to say more. I agree with
No,
that to the
it's done.
sense of where like an artist who makes a portrait of something, I get that takes a long time and a lot of effort. And I will never
Yeah.
put that down because that is very impressive. But to say that somebody who drew a portrait is doing more work than somebody with a whole team that just programmed, drew out, put together this
Definitely,
whole game and it's functioning perfectly and people love the fuck out of it, you're dead wrong.
Very
A
much.
video game is definitely a work of art to an extent when it comes down to like how
Mhm.
much time it takes to put into this, how much
Yeah,
effort
or-
it takes to make this thing.
Like,
And
really-
I get an artist makes no money, but you're in the wrong field, honey. Go make art in a video game and make some
I
money.
mean, yeah, really, like, to put it this way, video games inherently are a union of multiple artistic fields. So most games are going to have one, music. Two, all of the character models are, done in 3D. Those take quite a bit of artistic skill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the design itself, that's pretty creative and can be really good and unique and individual to that particular game. I think that is pretty artistic. It's a bunch of elements that, when you combine them, create a total experience that is very in-depth, very artistic, and can be done very well. But people tend to look down on it a bit because it's a newer medium and because it's a video game.
I mean, but can you imagine back in the day, the first dude who drew a fucking picture? Like a good-ass picture who took a lot of time and made like a portrait of somebody. And at first they were probably like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You just wasted so much time. You could have been like picking up rocks and putting them in the basket, bro. Like, why didn't you pick up more rocks, bro? What were you doing?
Definitely. There's always been like an argument of like, well, what's the real worth of art? Which is dumb in my opinion, because there's quite a bit of worth in art, for me at least.
There is, and there isn't, depending on obviously the viewer.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I feel like obviously the worth is within the eye of the person who's actually looking at it, whether it be something they see that they can view as sentimental even though they aren't the ones who made it. They see it and it reminds them of somebody else or something else in their life, or a lot of other things like that, like whether it catches their eye and they're just like, oh well, I fucking want that shit. But stuff like that, it's all dependent on how they view it, and that's what gives it its value. You could make this is the dumbest fucking example, but it works. Emojis on iPhone.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If those didn't become popular, the dude who made them would have no money whatsoever. It wouldn't fucking matter. But he decided, oh, well, everybody uses these text smiley faces, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let's just make them into little actual smile faces like what Walmart used to use back in the day for the commercials. And we'll give them kissy faces and crying faces. Oh, we'll add edgy ones that can flip you off. Oh yeah. And that dude's probably a fucking billionaire. Like, let's be real. The dude who made emojis is probably so rich it's not even funny, and nobody knows who he is.
Definitely, they made some good bank off that thing.
And that's art, though.
Yeah.
It took time for somebody to design the emojis. And that is, in its own, considered art. It doesn't matter how you want to put it. They took the time to design something. They drew it out. They got it all set and ready. They made a plan for it, and they put it out there, and they made money off of it. That's a smart way to do art. It's a good way to do business. And they did it right. They took advantage of what people were doing and made it better.
Yeah.
Other artists want to try and be fucking the dude that made the Mona Lisa. Oh, I made a really cool picture. Pay me lots of money. That's not that you don't do that anymore. You make a really cool design for a company, and they give you a lot of money.
Yeah, art is really just a form of expression. It's like how that is used. That's like really what matters. And in my opinion, just about anything can be considered art. Like, as long as you're putting out some form of expression, some form of message, I believe that should qualify as art.
Oh, I think you're entirely right on that, actually.
There's some dumb shit out there, but I think really, that's how we should look at art. Just something that we can put out, something that we can share with everyone, and just have a message to it. I think that's what good art should strive to be.
End of topic. Okay. Right now,
end of podcast.
On our recording, we're at 1 hour, 1 minute.
1 minute.
But we've also said a lot of stupid shit, and you have to edit a lot of it. So we're going to talk for 15 more minutes.
Hey. No. What?
Yes, because there's probably more than you have to cut out than you realize. And
you overestimate how much I cut out.
And we didn't talk about co-op, did we?
Oh god, you're gonna go on a tangent. Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna end the podcast here. Thanks a lot for listening. You can reach us at the BGBL podcast at gmail.com. You can also tweet at us. BGBL podcast, BGBL all cat podcast in lowercase. And yeah, we're ending it here. Bye. Have a beautiful day.
See ya.